friends, it's me, Sam. So, my last video for you all was about bad animation, and I got a couple questions about what prompted that. Like, how did I get into that? And I know I said how I found out about Dingo Pictures. I don't think that I would have gotten down the bad animation rabbit hole as much as I had I not liked good animation in the first place. And so I am a Disney fan. For those of you who know me, know I am. But more specifically, I am a Disney Parks fan. And that's kind of different, but I know you can see I have the vintage posters of all the mountains up. There they are, vintage. Some of them are from the 80s, but you know. I feel like the Disney Parks experience is something that it's just so immersive. It's the rides, and I love the rides so much, but then again, it's like I'm not a roller coaster person. So it's not the actual ride movement. It's just that like you're on this car and you're moving around and you're seeing things. I love the theming, love the animatronics. I am a big animatronics person, if that's a thing. I think what I like about animatronics is somehow how some of them are a little bit dated. Like, you know that they were groundbreaking in the 70s. And I don't know why that's exciting to me to see, but it is. And like, the new ones are just as cool because they're groundbreaking today. So it's kind of like everyone you see in the parks, it's like, whoa, so vintage, so cool, I can imagine. And then the ones that are good are like, whoa, how did they make it move like that? When I think about, the songs that bring me back, as much as I love the little Spotify Disney playlist, Disney Power Hours, been there, done that. But the music that actually takes me back to a nostalgic place is the original Disney World and Disneyland ride music. Like the music that plays when you're in the queue, the music that plays in the ride, the music that plays out from the buildings and the streets. Like, I love it. That's true nostalgia for me. So, to kind of introduce you all to my Disney vibes, I'm going to be counting down the top 5 Disney World ride songs. So what I'm going to be talking about is actually specifically Disney World, because that's my true love. It's my favorite park. I guess I've only been to 3, but it's the one for me. There's so much more to offer. What can you do without Animal Kingdom and Epcot? Come on. So I'm going to be doing Disney World, and I'm going to be doing music that was specifically made for a ride or designed around a ride. So this can't be stuff that was already in a movie. I feel like kind of overlapped in this is going to be almost a countdown of my favorite Disney rides. Not quite, but it's going to lead me on some tangents about just other random fun facts from those rides. So I'm gonna keep it about the music. It's about the music, but drop a comment if there's anything else that you're hearing that you think would sound interesting. So, without further ado, we will begin. But we're not going to be beginning with something that's happy. No, we're not. So this first song is really not an actual favorite song of mine. It's more just a reminder of a fear that I have faced and something that I've overcome, which is the creepy country bears. These are giant humanoid bears. And this is creepypasta shit. Look at this. His grin was very strange. His eyes bulged. Ah! Look at that. I mean, these are scary guys. So actually the story is that my family and I had just never really been to the Country Bear Jamboree. I feel like there was a lot of other stuff to do at Magic Kingdom, and for some reason it always got deprioritized. I don't know why, but I had this sing-along song, like Disney sing-along songs, and there was that song, I don't remember this is not the song, but it was like, I just keep wishing about going fishing and if you know that one, hit me up. But So that was how I was introduced to country bears. And you cannot deny that they're weird and scary. They are freaky. But then, like, the animatronics of them are actually cool, and it's scary and cool. So number 5 is Blood on the Saddle. So Country Bear Jamboree, when you start watching it, it's actually like, it's really fun. All the songs are like old country music, keep popping out of nowhere. They just keep popping up. But then all of a sudden, it gets dark. And the first time I saw this, I was like, what is this? Like, what is happening? Oh no. It's coming. Listen, they're screaming with terror. Did you hear that laugh? So I've learned from further research that this is Big Al. I think he's a fan favorite. It seems like he is. And maybe it is just the absurdity of this that he comes on and it's really like, it's jarring, it's different, and he's singing about violence. Like I said, I'm not really a roller coaster person, but it's sort of that feeling of like, oh no, like this is gonna be the big one, this is a big drop. And then when you do it, it's like, ooh, it's over, adrenaline rush. I think that's actually how I felt the first time I saw it. I was like, the bears were actually scary. They were actually scary, and I faced it and I did it. So Blood on the Saddle is just getting in there, because what a weird song. What a weird experience for a ride about bears. I don't know if anyone's feeling me on this, but come on. They have grotesque faces. So for our next number, we're going to stay in the creepy zone, but like fun creepy. You know what I mean? Yes, our next song is Grinning Ghosts. So this is going to start the fangirling section for me, because I love Haunted Mansion. Who doesn't? I mean, if we're talking vintage Disney, cool animatronics, totally immersive theming, great song, I mean, come on. What more can you get? And I have been into this ride since a friend of mine and I, wink wink if he is watching, when we were little, we used to always go on that site doombuggy.com, and it just had pictures and backstories of every single ghost in the Haunted Mansion, and like in the Haunted Mansions all over the world. So I know all the characters, and I know their little personalities. I love Madame Leota and Little Leota, and that part where the grandma from Carousel of Progress is in it. Remember when the bride was green? So Haunted Mansion is really a fave for me just because it goes back. The song just does such a good job of being kind of creepy, but just fun. Like, I don't know, you just want to groove. Let's just groove it out a little bit.
As the moon climbs high over the dead oak trees,
moon so bright for the midnight street,
creepy creeps with eerie eyes
start to shriek and harmonize.
When green ghosts come out to socialize. When you hear the bell of a requiem bell.
Now listen, there's a laugh at the end of this song, and it sounds like it actually should be there. I say my love for this. Immersiveness, catchy song, theming, animatronics, like, oh, what could be better? And honestly, one that I feel like was a classic fave when I was a kid and is maybe still more of my favorite now. It's Pirates of the Caribbean. So our next song is A Pirate's Life for Me.
Yo ho, a pirate's life for me.
So Pirates doesn't necessarily have the same lore that goes into the Haunted Mansion. Like, people try to put stories together, like who is the bride based on old Disney rumors and stuff like that, and who was she marrying. But I feel like Pirates was just very, it was just these pirates that were kind of invading Spain, and that's it. But I kind of liked finding all those little details by myself. I know there are a lot of things that are like Easter eggs, like that one pirate with the hairy leg that dangles down, but it was sort of fun, like picking out pirates and picking out scenes that you like. Like, I really like the scene in the beginning. First of all, I love that, like, Dead Men Tell No Tales section. It's like, it gets you so pumped, and then there's that little hill, and that part where the seagull is on the skeleton's head. Like, that's just the kind of stuff that gets me super into the ride. And I also, I like new Red Girl, who apparently is like a character now that you can meet, and her name is Red. But that whole thing is interesting to me because back in the day, when it was the, auction scene of the girls, I still liked Red Girl because I was just like, she has a pretty dress and she's really pretty, and that's probably exactly what they didn't want people to think, but like, she was always my favorite character, and that was like, when I heard they were redoing it, I was kind of like, well, yeah, I guess it's about time, but then at the same time, I was like, but what are they doing? But I guess there was a following after all, because like, they knew they had to bring her back, and so now she's back, and the animatronic's really cool, and she like actually has a character, so I'm into all that. But anyway, I guess that's why I love the ride. But why do I love the song? It's just really catchy. I feel like that's the one that, like, my most recent trip, when I was just kind of like, I gotta get pumped for Disney, and I'd be walking down the street, and that's the one that you just want to sing along to. So here are my faves. And here's the song.
We pillage, we plunder, we rifle and loot. Drink up, me hearties, yo ho. We kidnap and ravage and don't give a hoot. Drink up, me hearties, yo ho. Yo ho, yo ho, a pirate's life for me.
So this next one's a little bit of an interesting one for me, because again, okay, we've had our moment where I'm like, heart, rides and animatronics and everything like that. I mean, we're still doing that. Actually, now that I think about it, we're still doing that. But I said it was about the music, and this is one that comes from a pretty fun ride, but also, like, I had a time where I would actually listen to these songs, like, in the car and stuff. So our next song is a little bit of a cheat. It's the Splash Mountain soundtrack, but special mention is How Do You Do? My mind, I classify Splash Mountain the same way I classify Gone with the Wind, in that these two things are like, I know they come from an inherently racist place. I know this is like a lot for this Disney video, and then I also like thinking about the content, like, how was this perceived when it was first produced versus how his opinion changed to now. But the weird thing to me is that by the time Splash Mountain came out as a ride, I'm pretty sure that was in the 80s, and I'm pretty sure Song of the South was already like banned and pretty confirmed to be outdated. So that's just my little disclaimer. I'm just saying I know that Splash Mountain is weirdly not PC, and that's what makes the ride experience so strange for me. This is sort of like the Country Bears, where it's like, you're on it, you're feeling the country vibes, but then there's that sense of like, oh. And the weird thing is, country vibes is not my thing outside of Disney, but inside of Disney it is. It's like, I enjoy those fake country vibes. Like, I don't want to listen to actual banjo music, but I want to listen to the banjo music that plays when you enter Frontierland. I feel like I have a lot of thoughts about Splash Mountain. But I really like the soundtrack, and I really like the animatronics, and I really like the ride, because when I first went on Splash Mountain, I felt like a badass. And the first time I went on, it's not like a 5-year-old, this is like a teenager. So I've been playing it, but it's just like, it's a fun song. It's about small talk. It's about small talk is stupid, and it just introduces the ride, and you know, it's still pretty hype. It's got those fake Frontierland vibes. So, are you ready for number one? It's a little bit of an upset. It's a little bit of a surprise. But I'll tell you the backstory before we reveal. My parents and I went to Disneyworld again for their 25th wedding anniversary this year. And my big job was like the day organization, fast pass planning. When do you have to get in line for this ride? I was big into it. And I planned it all out and I made this schedule. And one of my big wins was that I got us fast passes for Navi River Journey. And this was the first time that we had ever seen Pandora. We were really excited just because I had heard really great things. But I had mostly heard really great things about Flight of Passage. People just saying this is groundbreaking and just such a fun experience and so immersive and worth the wait. The fact that there are 2 or 3 hour lines and it's been open for a year and a half. So I was so pumped, and that didn't disappoint. I love Flight of Passage. But with the river journey, I knew that there was a really cool animatronic. Like, I knew that that was the thing, but I was like, it seems like there's just one central animatronic. I don't know, like, even though that's cool, it doesn't really have a story. It's not quite as immersive. So we had already gone and ridden Flight of Passage like the night before. I tried to get on it fast. But the day comes and we're in line for Navi River Journey. And we go on it. We kind of think that, like, oh, it was pretty, but, you know, whatever. And we just get in line for Flight of Passage. We weren't not fans, but we were, you know, not really thinking about it that much. And we thought the animatronic was cool. But, so then it hit us. We're a little bit through the line. And I'm like humming this song in my mind. Like, I'm playing back this song in my mind and trying to think of how it goes. And that's how I know that I really like a song. When you kind of like, you just remember one part, but you're like playing that part over and over. And you're trying to think of like, well, what did the rest of it sound like? And you're just intrigued. And so I'm like lost in thought. And then I talk to my mom and I'm like, do you or do you not have the song from River Journey stuck in your head? And she was like, yes. That was such a good song. That was a really good song. And I was like, you know what? It was. And it's the song that the animatronic sings. And that animatronic, like, yeah, it kind of just all hit me way later. It's like, whoa, that's probably one of the best ones Disney's ever done in such a long time. And like, that song was good enough that we actually had it stuck in our mind. Not in like an It's a Small World way, but in like a, I'm thinking about it. I want to hear it again. And we did hear it again. We went back to the hotel room that night and we listened to it. So the song that you're finally waiting for is Way Tiretua, the Shaman song. So this is number one because I genuinely listened to this song and it's not even like in a Splash Mountain way where I'm like, it's in a real, like, I just listen to it. Kind of pumps me up. I listen to it on the way to work. And it has a fan base online. Like when I was looking for clips and trying to listen to it again, just, you know, when I was there are people that are learning the Navi language, and there are whole message boards where they'll like reply to each other using the language. And it's like, man, it's just spawned such a thing. And Avatar itself was like, I mean, that movie was kind of forgettable. I mean, no, but yes, at the same time, like the plot itself was, the visuals were great. And I guess that's why this is so good, because it's like, It's those same visuals, and it's one of those things that's classic Disney. It's new, but it's classic Disney because it's like, you love this shaman. Like, she is so cool. She's a really cool animatronic, and she's singing this great song, and you just want to listen to her. And it kind of takes you back to that whole, what it must have felt like in the World's Fair, where you're like, wow, this is just a really cool display of technology. And I love that. That's my favorite thing about Disney World. So that's why this ride is a big fave of mine now, because of the song. So I just wanted you all to know about what my whole vibe is when I go to Disney World. I hope this gives you a little bit of a better idea, and I want to hear what else you want to hear, because if anyone wants to talk about any one of these in great detail, I will do it. So, thanks for watching, and have a good day.